Hello and welcome to a tour of the Pequannock History Museum located in the historic Pompton Plains Railroad Station and hosted by Pequannock Township Historic District Commission member Christopher Lotito. Today we'll discuss just a few of the items that we have available at the station for visitors to view and touch just a few of the points that are available for discussion. Up along the top you'll see that we have a lot of our historic signs, including this historic Tin Wells Fargo sign, which was found underneath the station during its restoration several years back. As well, you'll also see the historic Van Ness Lumber Company sign. It's amazing how a lot of these things come back to us after so many years missing. It's amazing how many of them are located in the backs of people's garages, and how many of them have become parts of the walls of people's garages in some cases. Of course, we have the obligatory Frosted Flakes box featuring Derek Jeter, since unfortunately that's what most people seem to know about Pequannock. Other than that, it's next to Wayne, of course. Over in the corner here, we have a few historic shots of Jones Hardware and some of our other areas in the business districts within the township. We also have a picture of the Van Ness Lumber Company circa 1930 as listed on the sign we just looked at. And we have some images of the First Reformed Church of Pompton Plains church fire in 1937. Over here we've got a bit from Reaction Motors, and well, we could really cover a whole wall with Reaction Motors if we wanted to, but suffice to say, few people realize that Pequannock Township was the site of the development of America's space race in terms of some of the historic rocketry finds. We've got some historic insulators from the electrical poles, again things we could fill a room with, and here some small photos of the historic train derailment and crash that occurred back July 11th, 1960. A few of those photos a bit larger over here. Even the furniture in there is historic where we have the opportunity. This pew actually came from Holy Spirit Church in Pequannock. Over here we have James R. Evans, active citizen of Pequannock Township, Civil War veteran, recipient of the Congressional Medal of Honor, Pompton Plains Station Agent, Pequannock Constable, Justice of the Peace, Pompton Plains Postmaster, member of Pequannock Board of Education, School District number 105, and here's his 1900 census page that shows him in there. It's one of the few real records we have of his existence. Unfortunately, this is not a photo of James R. Evans. We're still trying to acquire one of those. This is a photo of a ZOAV uniform worn by James R. Evans as a Union Civil War soldier in 62nd New York Volunteer Infantry, Anderson Zouaves. And just think how lucky you are today not to have to wear red and blue and then expect not to get shot when going into battle. Over here we have a map of Gettysburg and the vicinity. Maybe replace that with something a little more local at some point, but it does give you the idea of where James R. Evans served during his service. Over here we have a few images from the First Reformed Church Pompton Plains Cemetery, including the gravestone of Cornelius V.W. Chandler, a Union Civil War soldier buried in the cemetery. And he's kind of interesting story here. He's got this very ornate statue, as you can see, very detailed, especially for the time period. And he was in the New York State Militia and was only enlisted for 3 months. So obviously he was proud of that as the crowning achievement of his life, as he decided to memorialize himself in that way. This is the gravestone of Theodore Mandeville, Union Civil War soldier buried in the cemetery of the First Reformed Church, and he fell on Morris Island, the 28th of July, 1863, age 29. So look up above, a little information about Abraham Ryerson and his involvement. in the Battle of Gettysburg. And continuing along, we have another interesting point here. 1885, a new brick Pompton Plains school was built with a large room that could serve as two, and was expanded in the 20th century with 6 main floor and 2 basement classrooms. Following decommission in the early 1980s, it was demolished in 1985, providing space for the new U.S. Post Office. The inset above shows a portion of the ornate wood cornice that was part of the school's architecture. A large portion of the cornice was salvaged in pieces from the demolition pile, preserved and restored, and is exhibited above courtesy of Pompton Plains School alumnus W.J. Wanzik. And if we pan up, we'll see the Pompton Plains School wood cornice up there as promised. Here's a historic map, 1887 Pequannock Township, and you can see that it's a lot larger than it is today. It's got the Beavertown district, Jacksonville district, and well, the list goes on. We'll refrain from giving a history of Pequannock at this point. Here's Cropsey's famous image of the Pompton Plains, 1868. We're guessing from the point of view that this was painted looking down from somewhere above Black Oak Ridge Road in Wayne. It's kind of difficult to tell. You can kind of see the hook of the river on the left side there, so that kind of gives a clue. Unfortunately, due to licensing issues, it's very difficult to get a larger reproduction, or at least to get one legitimately that would be allowed to display. Here's just some more historic images of the First Reformed Church of Pompton Plains, including a couple that were used as postcards and other promotional materials over the years. Continue over here, something that takes up a lot of wall real estate, but it's really quite a nice find. The Morris County, New Jersey map from original surveys by J. Lightfoot and Sam Guile. So, one of our nicer pieces. Here, if you look down, is one of our many stoves, and stoves such as this would have heated the station originally. This is one of the original stoves over here, and I believe we're not allowed to say who donated it because we're not sure how they got their hands on it, but at any rate, I'm just happy it came back, and I would be happy to thank them. Panning around, you see an excellent display that was put together by Chair W.J. Wanzik, and it just talks about a lot of our Civil War veterans from Pequannock, and a lot of information, a lot of work went into this. It's always nice to see a project like this come together and show the public what Pequannock contribution has been to history.